Okay, now that I'm recording, we're going to talk about scheduling. Scheduling is super, super important because if you just kind of go through your day, you're going to forget things. And so this is going to be, I'm going to explain some of the daily tasks that you guys should be doing. And then I'm also going to talk about how they can fit into your daily life. So we're going to schedule out this whole next week. I don't know if you guys are planner type people. I am not. I hate planning things. But this really, really, really helps. So even if you're not a planner, you need to be doing this. It just like helps get your mindset in the right place, and it helps to be super intentional. Something that I learned when I started this business was time blocking, meaning that when you are in a task, you are 100% in that task. So for example, when I am teaching, I'm not coaching. And maybe during my lunch break, I kind of pick up some coaching stuff, but when I'm teaching, I'm teaching. And when I'm coaching, I'm coaching. When I'm dog momming, I'm dog momming. When you are like teaching, well, working or whatever, and then you're like, oh, but I have to get back to this Instagram message, and I have to get back to this person, and I have to get back. You're not really present and not really being fully committed and fully finishing anything anywhere. And so I need you guys to remember that time blocking strategy of like, we're going to go through and like subject by subject and plan out this week. And I really, 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 really want you to focus on what you're doing in that moment. Anise has a really good schedule. She's really good at scheduling. But we're going to go into it. It's not letting me click there. Okay. If you have questions, throw it in the chat. I can't see the chat right now, but I will pull that. So the first thing I want you to do, just kidding. No, I can't. Maybe. I don't know where I went. I can't see the chat. I'll look at the chat in a minute. The first thing I want you to look at is like all the mandatory commitments you have. And so I want you to look at mine. So like my work is 7 to 3-ish. My Desire Empire calls, so things like calls and church things and work things that are non-negotiable. So like work, calls, I have amped and like church in here because those are things that like I do every week. So I want you guys to go right now and I want you to write your like non-negotiable things that are mandatory, your meetings, your stuff like that. Write it down into your schedule. I'm gonna figure out how I can see the chat. Oh, here it is. When you're like done, give me like a thumbs up or something because I don't know what it's gonna take. I'm gonna give you guys like 2 more minutes. Awesome. So after we've done that, we're going to dive into your workouts. So I want your workouts are mandatory. Your workouts are something that should be scheduled into your day. Like if you guys are just going to be like, oh, I'm going to work out tomorrow afternoon, that gives you like a lot of hours, right? I want you to really think about when you're working out. So for me, I work out the first thing I wake up. So from my goal is to hit play at 4:30, which is crazy early, but that's my goal. So I want you to like set and block out an hour, depending on the program you're doing. Block out a time in your day that you're like, okay, this is when I'm gonna work out. So that it's set, it's scheduled, it's like a meeting in your day and it's a non-negotiable. This is happening regardless of what else happens. I'm going to tell you guys the next part because I think they kind of go together. The next part is meal prepping. And so some of you guys are going to meal prep like all on Sunday or all on Saturday, have it all done. I don't do that. I meal prep like in the mornings, every morning. Like I cook all my stuff on Saturday or Sunday, but I don't cook a lot of things. Mine are all like salads and things that I can pull from that are already, that don't involve cooking because I don't like to cook. So I meal prep in the morning. So I want you to schedule in your meal prepping. The important part of like meal prep and workouts is that part of our job is to be proof of the product, right? Is to show that you can get results in these programs, to show that the nutrition plans work. And so you guys really have to make sure that we're setting aside time in order to invest in these things so that we are getting the results that we need, because one, it keeps us sane and it helps us continually fill up our cup. But two, it helps us as a coach show other people what's possible. If we're capable of doing it and working it into our schedule and making it happen, then they are too, right? So making sure that those are priorities. And like what is cool, like what we're going through right now, this is part of your job, but like this is all about you, right? Like we haven't even talked about business stuff yet. Like this is still all about you and filling your cup and making sure that you're a priority. Yeah. Think what's going to work best for you. I know we've talked about meal prepping before. So if you are a meal prepper, like if you won't wake up early and like put it all together, do not do what I do. Like if you're going to like slack, like I always suggest starting by meal prepping everything on a Saturday or Sunday. That way, like you give yourself no excuse. And then if you ever feel like moving to this, then that's like fine once you get over it. I'm muting you in this. All right. And then the next thing is personal development. Again, this is so important. One, to like your mental sanity, and two, to the business. Like your mindset and how you feel and how strong you are in the areas that you're growing in, right? Like that's so important. And so you should be doing like at least 15 minutes, so like 30 minutes of personal development every single day. And if you need to write what your PD is, go for it. If you're not sure what to do, like reach out to me and we can figure it out. So that could be podcasts, it could be books, it could be YouTube, it could be trainings. Like Sunday, I said, like I was talking to Mackenzie, I was like, I'm church, I have Sunday school, I do church. That's my PD on Sundays. So like, what is your PD? And just block it in. So my PD during the work week is normally an Audible or a podcast or a training that I listen to in the car, because I drive 30 minutes. I just like put it on the car. Figure out kind of what works for you. Like Mackenzie listens to PD while she's getting ready. And if you like to read, set aside time to read. But I would suggest at least 15 minutes And PD should be specific to you. It should be like, a lot of times people are like, let's all read Girl Wash Your Face. It's such a good book. And it is a really good book. And Rachel Hollis is amazing. Like, I'm all about her. But, like, not everybody in the world needs to read Girl Stop Apologizing, right? Like, you need to figure out what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, and to dive into those. So, like, for example, something that I'm working on right now is leadership. And so I do a whole lot of PD on leadership. I listen to a lot of John Maxwell. I listen to a lot of leadership lean in and like other leadership-y stuff to help me be a leader. And so think about whether it's like a mental block in your mind that you need to get over, like Mastering Your Mean Girl is great to like not break yourself down all the time, right? Like not talk badly about yourself for that mindset. I know that like Danielle and I talked about the 5-second rule, one of my favorite PD books, and it's about like getting moving and getting going and like not procrastinating and like time management, and like it's such a good book. It's like and not like letting fear stop you, and like it's just a really good book. That was my first PD book that I ever read as a coach, and I absolutely like I would read it over and over and over again. But PD should be personal because it's personal development, right? Like it's not like team development. It's not, oh, so-and-so's reading this, so I'm reading it. Like you got to do what's going to help you grow as a human, and that's going to help you be a better leader, a better coach, a better whatever, like friend, teacher, whatever you are, right? Like personal. Okay, make sure that's a good one. So far, we've done no business things. And so the next part we're going to start doing, I think the next part is business. Yeah. But I want to talk specifically about what the business stuff is because I added a couple different things in here. So, and maintenance. So maintenance just means you should spend about 15 minutes, like whether that's checking in with your challengers or just like in the challenge tracker. It could be like 10 to 15 minutes. I feel like 15 minutes is a long time. But like commenting on people's things, adding stuff to the challenge tracker, like adding value, like McKenna, you write amazing like posts about your workouts and like how you're feeling, and like that adds a lot of value to the challenge tracker for other people. And so in replying to other people and like seeing what they're posting. So like you should find about like 10 to 15 minutes in your day anywhere to do just like maintenance. So me, I do it while I'm drinking my Energize. I will check into my challenge group normally in the morning. I like post all my crap in the morning, comment on people's things. Sometimes I also do it at night. I'll do like a bookends, but at least 10 to 15 minutes where you're just pouring into the challenge group and adding value. And right now, some of you guys don't have any challengers, and that's totally okay, but pouring into our boot camp that like I'm running right now is going to help you be prepared for when you are running your own, right? So start getting into the habit. Sorry, I'm fixing my light. Start getting into the habit of doing that now, so that when you have your own group, when you start running your own things, it's going to be natural to you, right? So scheduling that 10 to 15 minutes can be anytime. My light just turned off. And then the next section is going to be, you can see mine in blue, but I want to dive into it a little bit more because it might look different for each of you. It's a power hour, and I wrote other business tasks. It depends on your goals. When I started working my business, I only worked an hour a day. So mine was only an hour. So I'm going to show you, or I'm going to explain to you kind of what an hour could look like for you. I do a little bit more now because I want to quit my job. So like if your goals are a little bit, like you have to think about kind of what your goals are. An hour a day is going to get you to like hit Success Club, and it's going to get your traction. It's going to get you started. But if your goals are like quitting your job and bringing in a full-time income, you're going to have to be putting in a little bit more. But the basics of the activities that I'm going to tell you are going to be the same. You're just going to 10x them, right? So if I say send 15 invites, send 100, just like 10x them, make it bigger, do it longer. The tracker really is going to be the basis of a power hour. But hold on, I have some notes on. I'm going to structure this in a way that like kind of like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you're going to do one thing, right? Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, you'll do another thing. And then Sundays, you'll do something. Just a different focus of those days, if that makes sense. So Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, your power hour, and this could totally be split up into like 15-minute sections throughout your day, 10-minute sections. You could totally split it up. I like do mine all together, but it's up to you and it depends on your schedule. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday should be like an add to your network type of focus. And when I say add to your network, I mean build your following. And the best way to build your following would be to like find a hashtag that you really like, or an account that's non-Beachbody related. So don't like go to my account or Kate's account, like go to a non-Beachbody related account. So that could be like a mom account, or like a fashion account, or a makeup account, or like The Bachelor, or I don't know, something that you really like, or a place that you really like. Find a influencer that you really like, and then you're gonna go to like their followers / the people that are liking and commenting their pictures and follow them. I don't know how many it is. Anise, do you know how many people you can follow before Instagram like yells at you? No. So what I normally do when I follow people is like do it for 5 minutes and then I go and do something else. Because if you just like try to mass follow, Instagram's gonna block you. They're gonna be like, you can't do that activity anymore. So I normally set like a 5-minute like timer, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna follow for 5 minutes, and then I'll go do all my other activities, and then the last like break I'll do it for another 5 minutes of my day, type of deal. Just because Instagram gets really, really picky about that. It's no fun when you get blocked. So you should be adding to your network Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. Also, you need to be inviting and following up. So inviting, I think there's a couple different ways to invite. When I think inviting, I want you to think inviting on your stories, and I also want you to think inviting in your inbox, so like messaging people. Those people should be people that are watching your stories, that are following you, that are liking your content. Don't just like go to a random picture and message people because they don't know you. They don't know, like they have no like relationship with you. But if they're watching your stories, if they're reading your content, if they're following you, they are engaging in your business. It is your storefront. It's like walking into Charming Charlie's. They're gonna ask you if they can help you, if you want part of the sale, if they want whatever. When they're choosing to follow you, you are now a business. Your Instagram is a business. They are entering your storefront, and it is okay to invite them. So people watching your stories, liking your posts, following you. I would say at least like 25 invites a day. 20 to 25. Pick a number you can stick with. Personally, I send 75 invites a day. But know what your following is. So like I have almost 5,000 followers. So I can send 75 invites a day and not cycle through my followers in like 2 days, like know what your following is, know what your time frame is. McKenna and Danielle, we're talking a little bit about inviting tomorrow, just so you know what that looks like, how to do that. But you should be inviting every day. And then follow up in your inbox. So that's just like when you invite, you should be tracking your people. And there's a couple of different ways to do that. Nisa, I'm going to send you that straight video so you can look at that. But really all I do, I'll show you. I just write people's name down. Oh, what just happened? This is my tracker. And I literally just write people's Instagram handles down, and then I highlight them based on the answers I get. And then I just go back and message them. So like if I have somebody that like purple means like I sent them money or I sent them a share cart. So I'm going to go back and follow up with my purple people like the next day. I just like highlighted a certain color. Like green means that money is holding them back. So I'm going to check with them later about money and see if we can find a solution to like save up for money, or like, so I have them highlighted based on how they've responded to me. And so I know who to follow up with when and why. And I have it like pretty organized for me personally. There are online things that you can do, like Google Streak. I'll post the video to the team page or send it to our chat so you guys can see it. It's literally like this Excel chart pretty much that has like categories. So I have like all my coaches in there. I have like all my clients in there, and you could put your follow-up people in there. You just like, you sent them a message. You can move them down to another part for when they answer a certain way. So you have them in an online like sheet. Asana, that's something I want to look into, is another way to track. But find what works for you. Track your follow-ups and answer and like follow up every single day. I think that's it. Yeah, so on Mondays, that's what you should be doing. Adding to your network, inviting, and following up. At least, I would say at least like 15 minutes of each thing, or until you hit your number. So sometimes I could send 75 invites in like 15 minutes, and sometimes it takes me like 30 minutes, kind of depending on my day. So, but pick a number and use your tracker. It'll help you. And then Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays. Think of those as more relationship building days. So we're still going to invite, we're still going to follow up. So whatever your invite number is, still follow up with people. But your focus should be like relationship building, meaning like, hey girls, based on like their content or like personal likes. So like sometimes I have a bunch of people that are new, like I'll promote a picture, and I have a bunch of people on there that like I've never talked to before, and they like liked my picture, and I'll be like, hey, thanks for liking my this is one that I did. Hey, thanks for liking my transformation. Sometimes those are really hard to post. Are you on a health and fitness journey of your own? Not really inviting them. It could turn into an invite, but it's really just a connection. You also can like go through your stories and just message people based on their stories. That's the easiest way to get people on, like DM people, whatever they say. Like whatever they're doing, just message them. It's just a great relationship building. Like it doesn't have to be an invite. It can just be like, hey, I really like your hair today. Hey, whatever. I think stories are a great way to do that because it's people putting their life out there. So just reply to their story. Watch a story, reply it. Watch a story, reply to it. That's my favorite way to relationship build because I don't think it's weird. Sometimes I don't love when people like scroll through, like there's people that like scroll all the way down my Instagram feed and they comment on 5 pictures and I'm like, what the heck are you doing? I don't understand why you're like, commenting on pictures from like 5 weeks ago. So my favorite is stories or maybe even a picture of like if it was like posted today or yesterday because it could pop on my feed, right? Start conversations, find your tribe. So you can do a little bit more of like following based on people that you have in common. Yeah, and just like do it over and over. Have fun with it, you know, like blare some music, pump up jams, timers are really good. But it shouldn't take you super, super long. So you can kind of decide, like again, if you want to do like 15 minutes in the morning of relationship building, 15 minutes of inviting after work, and then 15 minutes of following up at night, or if you want to lump it all together. If you have bigger goals, like me, I want to quit my job. I am going to spend more time doing these activities. It's not that I'm doing different activities. Like I'm not doing really that many different things. I'm just doing these things more. Yeah. And then on Sundays, follow up heavily. So like all your share carts. So like you can see all the share carts you sent before, go back through them and like email them and check in with them and see what's going on. Go back all the way through all your people that you've written down. Mass follow-ups is where you're going to see like the change. Like most yeses come from follow-ups. Like I'm looking at you guys and I'm pretty sure all of you told me no. And at least one time, right? Like if not once, lots. Like, but you're here because I followed up with you. Like if I would have just been like, oh, Danielle told me no, so I'm just never gonna messenger again, ever. I'm just gonna let it go. You know, like make sure you just keep checking in with them. You don't have to be like mean. Just keep checking in with them. I just listened to a podcast by Melanie Mitro about follow-ups, and something that she always does is tries to get a yes out of every conversation. So like she follows up with them, they ghost her. She follows up, they ghost her, and then she's like, hey girl, like enrollment closed this month, but I just want to make sure, like I know you were kind of interested and I don't want you to miss out, so like can I keep you on my list for next month? and then like she gets a yes out of them. Even if it's a yes to follow up with them later, she got the yes, right? So like just continuing to talk to people to get a yes out of them, continuing to keep in contact with them, continuing to build relationships with them. Follow-ups is literally gold. Your effort, your goals, make yourself proud. So exactly, like your effort should match your goals. It's gonna, like if your effort is like 15 minutes a day and your goal is to quit your job, like sorry babe, but you're probably not quitting your job. Like your effort has to match your goals. If you're not sure how to make that happen, tell me your goals and I'll help you match your effort, right? And then show up for them and make yourself proud of it. Like just show up and do it. That is all that I have for you right now. Do you guys have any questions about anything that I said? No? All right. Also in this, so like this is like I want you to know the things that like I said, like with the inviting, the follow-ups, and the networking stuff. Also make sure you're doing your tracker. Like this stuff is like bare minimum, but like your tracker is going to show you a little bit more of like what to post in your stories, what to post on Instagram, or how to follow up, or how to check into your challenge group, like that maintenance thing. Like there's a challenge group, like getting people results part on the tracker that can tell you what to do in those 15 minutes. Use the tracker because it literally is gold and it's super simple and you just like check things off. And some of it takes like 2 seconds to do. All right. Anything for the good of the group? Anything we want to add? If not, we will take a picture and move on. Stephanie, can you hear me? Or to Stephanie? I don't know. Oh, she can hear me. Hi. Can you take a picture? Okay, good. Awesome. All right, I'm going to screenshot this. So smile. And I'm so happy I have my computer back. So I will post this, and then I will post the recording probably tomorrow morning because I have some stuff I have to do before I have to go to bed. Super proud of all y'all for getting on today, and I will talk to you later. Bye.